Hello, YouTubers. This is a special series, a special sessions where I am talking here to a new friend all the way from India, Mr. Yasser. How are you, Yasser? How are you doing today, brother?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Yes, sir. Pretty good, pretty good. Yes, sir reached out to me, a while back, and he said, "Listen, man, I have this amazing idea that I want to work with you, just to learn the engineering standard and guidelines, and hopefully we can do this together, so a lot of people could learn from this." Yasser is a software engineer. He has a lot of passion for building end-to-end systems. And actually, what's interesting to me about what Yasser is doing is that, this brother is already, thinking about, engaging mobile applications, which is something that I have done in proprietary projects and non-public, non-open source projects, and I never had the opportunity to actually explain these things to people. And this is a great opportunity. So Yasser and I get to kind of sit together and hash out an entire end-to-end project so people can see what it's like to build this system. This is a very serious system. It's going to be open source. So, Yasser and I will be able to push the code out there and anybody can follow up with us. It's really, really important. Like every now and then I try to push some of these projects out there and start working with people to put these projects are standard compliant so you can follow through and learn how to build end-to-end systems. So if you're watching this right now, take this opportunity to build how to be, to learn how to build end-to-end systems, and hopefully that will be something useful to you. But before we do that, we have to know who this guy is. Yasser, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and what your ambitions are? Go ahead. Go
Yeah. So, I'm Yasir, and I'm working with systems for to integrate them. Integration of the systems, migration of the systems, and development of mobile apps and web applications.
Nice.
So here, I have a passion, to program, to code, and
Hmm.
this was the passion since my academic. I have been into academics, so I'm here with you now, to go ahead with this.
Okay. Yasser watched some of our videos and some of the sessions and read
Hmm.
some of the engineering standard, and he thought maybe I can do this, maybe I can learn this. And if you're out there and
Yeah.
you're watching our sessions, please don't feel like I see a lot of people reach out to me and they say, I feel like you're too busy, you're not going to answer me. I am here to answer people and I'm here to help people. That's my main purpose of this channel. This is why this channel is not monetized, never will be. It'll always be available for engineers. Whatever content I produce, it's not going to be at any monetary value because we want to bring that kind of value to people.
Hmm.
Okay. So yeah, sir, what are we building? What are we trying to build today?
Yeah, it would be a mobile app, and
Hmm.
it's a kind of virtual mall, as we discussed a bit earlier,
Hmm.
wherein the users they can connect to the vendors virtually through
Hmm.
their mobile phones,
Hmm. Hmm.
and all the available vendors we will be dealing initially in the fashion domain only.
Hmm.
And these users, all the people around the world, they can access the vendors who are who can sell the fashion items online on the mobile. And these
Nice.
vendors,
So,
only
mhm,
these vendors which are who are locally available to the users,
uh-huh.
in the
Like
vicinity
within the
area,
environment, within the
within the
vicinity.
environment, within the
Okay.
city, within yeah. So
Okay. So
before
let.
going to the physically
Mhm.
going to to the
Store.
shop, and yeah, and looking at
Uh-huh.
the fashion items, they can virtually go through the mobile, view the items, and then if they are okay with it, then they can visit the shop, you know so
Okay.
that's the
Okay.
whole idea. So it's a virtual mall. Yeah.
Okay, that's like you're building your own kind of intelligent virtual mall where people get to just go shop. Let's draw
Hmm.
this. I like to draw
Hmm.
ideas. Let's see if we can draw this together. So what should we call this project? Yes, that's the hardest thing. I think you and I just spent a whole meeting just thinking about the
Hmm.
name of this. What did we end up calling it? Bazaar or something like that? Is that
Yeah,
what we
yeah,
called it?
it
Bazaar.
is virtual bazaar, that is Wazar.
Okay, a
VAZ.
virtual. Huh. Is that
Yeah,
right? Did I do it
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Bazaar.
So we
Okay.
can make it plural, like
Bazaars.
bazaars. Mm-hmm.
Like this? Like
Mm-hmm.
many isn't it just one virtual bazaar and everyone is going to it? Or what do you think? Naming is always the hardest thing about building software, you guys. So
Yeah.
if Yasser just if you want to make it Vazars, I'm just your assistant. What do you think?
Uh,
Mm,
so this system will be one singular, system. So we can remove that
uh-huh.
S if you want. Just Bazaar will be okay, I think.
Okay, this is the high level architecture. High level. This is where we start, right? So you want to make it
Yeah,
Vazar?
yeah, Bazaar.
Final
Yeah.
decision? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all right. So Bazaar high level architecture. And what you're saying, you're basically saying, let's say we have bunch of stores. So this is a store and this is a store in a different part of the town, and then maybe there's another store in a different part of town.
Mm-hmm.
And people who are interested in shopping, they can just go on this nice mobile app that you and I are gonna build together.
Mm-hmm.
And out of this mobile app, people can just go and say, okay, we want to be able to, I want to be able to navigate, and this mobile app will tell me about these guys and these guys and these guys. It'll tell me about all the people that are, so I'm assuming you're going to have kind of search capability. You're basically going and saying, oh, you can buy this from, this store or that store. And you're mainly
Mm-hmm.
trying to target just fashion for now, right? Is that what
Yeah,
you're doing?
yeah.
Like, okay, so just fashioned instead of me going and basically, well, let me ask you this then. Here's a question for you about the
Mm-hmm.
project.
Mm-hmm.
What makes Bazaar super different from, say, eBay or Amazon or any of these stores?
Yeah.
Like a
See,
lot of people,
yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. So these stores, you visit them, you go online, you pay them online,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get that product at your doorsteps.
Shipped, yeah, yep,
Yeah, so this is a different story, and it's a completely different business idea.
okay.
So here is one of my friends, Sajid. He approached me and he said he would like to have an app.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, people are using WhatsApp status and
Always,
Instagram
yeah,
to put
yep,
their
yep,
products, and
yep,
people are doing business sitting at in their home,
yep.
sitting. Yeah. So that the people in the vicinity area, the other customers in the vicinity area, they can see the WhatsApp status, and they can they can call directly to the
Mm-hmm.
vendor, and
Mm-hmm.
or else can visit directly to the shop.
Okay.
So the idea is to connect these shops available in the local area uh, to the customers.
Uh-huh. So this is not like I order it online and it gets shipped to my home. No,
Yeah.
this is me seeing what's out there in this shop, and
Hmm.
then people have to go and buy it from the shop, right?
Right, right.
So now let me ask you this. I'm just being the devil's advocate here, just trying to kind of bounce ideas and see what, screw the devil. I don't like the devil, but let's just a sort of speech. So
Hmm.
here's a question for you. So are the store owners required to kind of log into the app and update their inventory? Are these store owners are supposed to go into the app, maybe some other portal, a web portal or a mobile app where they go and say, oh, we have this new, we have this new, say Saudi or
Yeah,
a
yeah,
new,
yeah.
what, like, are they required to keep that data updated?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So even the store vendors, they some of them might have a system, some of them might not have, like
Uh-huh.
PC or laptop. So it
Yeah.
is better to have a mobile app itself, so that the
Uh-huh.
store vendors they can
You
record the
just take
video,
the picture and
take the
upload.
pictures, yeah, and
Hmm.
upload the what type of product is that and what is the price, and let the customers in the vicinity area just view that, and
Hmm.
maybe they can call the vendor directly or visit
Yep.
and check it. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. So this app is really like a local, sort of like a more integrated, more model digital newspaper where you put ads about your
Ah.
store, right? And then people
Mm,
get to go and say, well, this is my local newspaper. This is not someone all the way up in Germany or in the United States.
mm.
This is my next door neighbor. I'm just trying to see
Yeah,
what they have before I leave the
yeah.
house and go check out. It's going to be a little bit problematic for people who just enjoy the shopping experience.
Hmm.
People who just want to find a reason to go out of the house, but I totally understand. Obviously, what's beautiful about this idea, and for you guys watching us, is that this is an app that is tailored to the context of the area or the region where people are going to be using this. So this is not an app that's mainly trying to separate the customer from the seller. It's actually trying to bring them closer together by allowing the customer to know what they're looking for before they actually go to the store. So we're not preventing the shop owner and the customers from talking to each other like how most of these apps these days do, right? You go and buy something on Amazon and you don't have to know or see, the person who's selling you the product. Instead, you're saying, here is the person. If you want to shop around, this is like a virtual mall or a virtual bazaar, and you're just shopping around before you leave the house, so you know what you're looking for, what you're going for. It's gonna be really interesting, Yasser, to see how people are gonna keep up,
Hmm.
with, the normal problem or the usual problem that people have is that a store owner will come and tell you, how do I know that the customers that are coming to me are coming to me through the app? You know what I mean? I guess they could just
Yeah,
show him the app and say, I'm looking for this particular item,
yeah.
and
This
go
is
ahead.
this is what is we are expecting from the app. The customers, they would go to the vendor, and they can tell, they can give a reference of that image through the app,
Mm-hmm.
that I was looking at this, at this particular item, and at this price you are selling, so just show
Uh-huh.
me that item. So the
Uh-huh.
vendor knows that, you know uh, this particular customer has come to my doorstep because of
Uh-huh.
this app. And
Because of
also,
this.
we'll be,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and also we'll be sending the statistics about, whom about,
How many
who have
people
liked
looked
that.
at? Uh-huh.
Yeah, how
Uh-huh.
many people are looking, and how many people have, actually liked that particular item of that vendor. And if and then also, before going to the shop, the customer can book the item. Okay.
Ooh,
uh,
okay.
yeah,
And then the
so
the
that,
store owner gets a notification that says,
yes,
"Hey,
yes,
this is booked. You don't don't
yeah, this
don't
is
take this."
booked. Yeah,
Okay.
so there are, so that, he will assume that there are chances that the customer might come and, and buy this. And
Yeah, so the store owner maybe won't close too early because he knows the customer is coming. And
mhm,
maybe
yeah,
and are you gonna add like a chat feature where the customer and the store owner can chat?
not in the first
Not
phase.
not version 1. Okay, not
Yeah, yeah,
version 1. Okay. Are you gonna add reviews and people can have like posts about
yeah,
certain items? Okay.
right,
It's gonna
right.
it's gonna need a
They
little bit of management, but yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the design board here.
Hmm.
So okay, so this is my favorite part about any projects, right? We get to go like this and we get to say, okay, there's a bunch of stories here. There's a whole bunch of stories here. Like in here, basically, we can go and say, here's the stories that I know about this store, right? And I want the people watching us just to learn how, we basically connect the dots and we say, okay, here is what every store has in terms of stories. These stories, ideally, I keep them in the outskirts of the architecture so it doesn't impede your flow. Like when you're talking about a particular flow, you get to understand the entities of the system. So I'm going to go up in here and say this. Okay, let's type this in here. Let's go and say store owners will be able to subscribe to Vazar and upload pictures and details of their products. Right, Yasser? And
Right.
then be able, additionally, so that's 1 point. Okay, let's keep these in points because this is the good stuff, right? So okay,
Hmm.
store owners will be able to subscribe to Bazaar, upload pictures and details of their products. Number two, store owners will receive notifications about how many and notifications and telemetry, right? We're just picking up raw requirements. And then we're going to turn these
Hmm.
requirements into
Hmm.
issues and stories and discussions and be able to deliver software. What do you think about that? So they will receive notifications and telemetry about their customers, likes, dislikes, comments, etc. So what we call communication basically in the system. What else?
Hmm.
What else can the store owners do? Is it just this?
Uh, yeah, they'll be receiving notifications. They'll be able to upload the products, and
Mm.
they'll be able to get the reviews and
Hmm.
of the customers also.
Yeah, comments and
And
reviews and
y-
reviews, etc. Yeah, just
yeah,
feedback basically. Okay.
yeah,
So
yeah.
let's keep it to that. Okay. So that's
Mm-hmm,
that's a store owner uploading stuff. Let's go into the customer.
mm-hmm,
This customer here, this guy here is gonna be an interesting guy because let's go back down here. Let's go up here and let's see if I can move. Can I? Let's see. This customer here. I know it looks funny. Just bear with me. I'll fix it. All right, there you go. Oh, actually, never mind. Where is the thing? Yes, sir. Um, you know what? Just for the interest of time, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go here and say, okay, let's talk about the customers, right? So customers, customers can sign up to the app. Number
mm-hmm.
one,
Yeah,
customers can find nearby stores. So they have to be nearby. So the location here is important. So there's location,
yeah,
geolocation detection. Okay.
mm,
Customers can search for particular products or
yeah,
simply navigate in a specific store, just like in a mall, right? What else? Customers can write reviews, like, dislike, and comment on certain products. Now, just out of curiosity, because I see this a lot in Google reviews and all that, the Google does this today in a way. They say find nearby, but the problem with Google is that it requires a lot of technical knowledge and savviness in a way. Like think about a mom and pop shop, Auntie Khadija, for instance, she's just opening a shop where she's selling saris.
mm-hmm,
And, she doesn't know this computer thing. She knows how to text on her phone and talk about other people, but she doesn't know this whole ad block. And, I feel like your app is just a simplified version that is really appealing to people that don't want to learn too much about technology. Okay, I see it now. I see what you're doing now. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's keep going. So comments on certain products, and then customers can reserve a product, right?
yeah.
They can tell us,
Book,
okay,
reserve
book a
or book.
product,
Yeah,
and then okay, reserve or book, okay, and then what
and
else?
they can add certain products to the wish list, instead of booking, so that next time they can come and go through the wish list. Just
Okay.
the it's something like before you book, you're not sure. I mean, you can add few products to the wish list, and then
Uh-huh.
you can remove and then book only one or two items of that. So
Okay. So I'm a
so wish list is
customer. Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
you know
Uh-huh. So I'm a customer. I'm
yeah,
going
it's
into the
just one
app.
layer.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What, okay,
Yeah.
customer going into the app, signing into the app, and then, I'm looking at stores nearby. I can see all these stores, and I can look at the products in these stores. I can click on the store just like I'm visiting a store in a mall or a bazaar,
Mm-hmm.
and I can just go and say, okay, I like this dress, I like this shirt, I like this shoes. Okay, I can say book it, so I can go to the store owner and tell them, hey, this is I want this product, and it doesn't separate people from each other. It doesn't sever the human connection, but rather
Mm-hmm.
just strengthen it, and empowers it by allowing people to still communicate with each other. Okay, you
Mm-hmm.
told me something about WhatsApp. What is the deal with this app and WhatsApp? Is it like people sharing through WhatsApp? What's the idea? You were saying something and I probably missed the flow there.
Okay.
Are you saying we can
Okay.
want to allow people to share the WhatsApp, certain stores? What are you saying? Mm,
Uh, I talked about WhatsApp. The people, they are doing business sitting at in their home. So
mm-hmm.
so what they do is, they upload their products on
Mm-hmm.
the WhatsApp status with the price,
Mm, mm-hmm.
and then they get a call, and then
Oh, that's
the
how
deal is done.
people aha. So that's how
So
people are
similarly,
doing
it
it
goes
today.
on the Instagram.
Uh-huh. And then it goes on Instagram or it goes on Instagram or Facebook. Ah, so you want to
Hmm.
unify and create a special platform where people
Yeah,
can get
yeah.
together and just okay. You're gonna
Hmm.
have you're really gonna have to kind of enable integration or chat feature because people gonna want to talk to each other, want to talk about the product. They're talking about the
Yeah.
product in the mall, in the virtual mall, and they're selling
Hmm.
things to each other. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool. I like that. So let's go back here. All right. Customers can sign up to the app. Customers can find nearby stores. Customer can search for particular products or simply navigate to a specific store. Write reviews. Customers can reserve, book a product. Customer can do all that great things all through the app. So you have store owners. This is one persona.
Hmm.
And you also have a customer that wants to use the app. Okay. Let's break this down a little bit further. Let me pull this here in the middle here. This is just a one slide where we just talk about the business in its raw state. We're not really talking about anything other than just the business. And I can just, make it fit. Just give me a second here because I kind of, took a little bit of fun with with the let's put the stores here. There you go. Okay. Perfect. I love this app, Yasser. I love this app. It just helps me reflect my thoughts. Okay, so this is high level architecture. Let's talk about the modeling and simulation. And just for the people watching us, when you're building a new system, this is the whole point why Yasser approached me and said, "Hey, a lot of people could benefit from this. We're gonna build this as an open source product." You know, the biggest thing here is to understand what the problem is that we're trying to solve and then start creating models out of this problem and simulate the interactions between these models. In this particular scenario, there are three models. There is a customer, there is a product, and there is a store owner. So these are three models that we're working with. And what's the interaction? The customer finds the product, the customer reserves the product, and the store owner offers the product. So you see how you can simplify. I want you to really listen to this very well because this is purposing, modeling, and simulation. Or an engineering standard, that's the very first thing that you want to um, focus on and learn from when you're building any system. A lot of people go and jump to the code right away. Yes, like when people are talking, they'll be like, "Oh, let's write some code." Code about what? I don't know. There's code that needs to be written. I don't know about what, but we need to write code. That's what I know.
Hmm.
That's not engineering, right?
Right.
Engineering is to be able to pick up the first of all, understand your problem and start the models of these problems, and then let's go and build these systems. So what am I doing
Right.
here? I'm gonna go here a little bit here, Yasser, and I'm gonna create this next slide, and this slide is called models of the system. Let's talk about the models of the system. Okay,
Hmm.
so we have a bunch of models. We have a customer, so that's your customer. And I know you have, I know you did all your homework and you studied that. Just help me out in the
Hmm.
conversation. Chat with me. I'm an
Right.
old man,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
entertain me. So, okay. So this is store owner, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And then you have the third model, which is the product, right? We're gonna
Hmm.
we're gonna get into the weeds of this a little bit further when we go and say, oh, the product has another nested entity called reviews and comments and likes and dislikes. We'll talk about all of that. Start simple and build your way up until you get to the point where you can do whatever you want. Okay, let's talk about the
Right.
customer. First thing and easiest thing in the world, it needs an ID. Everyone knows that, right? An ID, which is a GUID. Got it. Maybe
Hmm.
they need a name. We need to know their name. So when they come to the store owner and they say, I am Yasser, I am Ali, I am Muhammad, I am, Sandeep, it doesn't matter. I'm the person that reserved this. Okay. What else do we want to add here to the customer? Yes, sir.
They'll be adding their pin code.
Oh, pin
uh
code. What is this
yeah
pin code? Explain that
pin
to me.
uh it's a small, it's an area, I mean, which
Oh,
is
zip
represented by
code.
zip code. Yeah, it's a zip code.
Okay, in India it's called pin code, PIN.
Yes.
Okay, got it. No, yep, stay as is. Don't worry about the American nonsense that I'm talking about. Just stay as you are. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Pin code.
So,
What else? Mhm, mhm.
and they can upload their photo also, so that they can set their DP, display photo, the way we have
Okay,
on the
photo.
WhatsApp. Yeah.
So the store
And
owner knows they're talking to the right Yasser. Maybe there's five of them. Okay.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
and that would be a byte array. Got it. What else?
yeah. And we'll be having gender also, so that we can show them the products according to the gender.
Okay, sounds
What do you
good.
think about this?
I mean, if a mama is buying for her son,
Hmm.
she's a female, but she's buying it for a male. Don't worry about that part.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we can skip that. I mean, we shouldn't make that actually. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, we can remove that.
I love this discussion. Are you having fun? I hope you're having fun because I'm having fun. And I like to sit down with engineers and be like, what do we want to extract from,
Mhm.
for the guys watching us, this is how you extract details when you're building a model. This is a very fun process when you're just starting to think. What do I
Right.
need to save? Okay, they don't need to save payment information or anything because okay, so the customers. Okay, they don't need to save payment information. They just need to be able to, just put their information. So PIN code, name, photo, and ID. That's it.
Mm.
What else do we want to put in there?
Would you like to have email ID?
Yeah, of course. Ooh, absolutely. That's a great idea. Of course, how are we supposed to send them emails about new products? We need to be
Mhm.
able to contact them somehow. I mean, someone could always argue, we could do the app notifications, but what if someone kind of got a new phone and forgot to install the app, right? You want to be able to go and say, "Hey, you haven't been here in a while. You want to come
Mhm.
back?" I know that'll be a little bit annoying, but we'll see. So do we need their phone? Do we need their phone number?
Yeah, we'll be getting
Okay,
that phone number also.
that's important, right? So let's put the phone number. Okay, what
We
else?
should have phone. And yeah, that's pretty
That's
enough, I
pretty much
think.
it. That's
Yeah.
it. Okay, so that's the customer. Got the customer. Let's talk about the store owner. So a store owner actually have a thing called a store, which another entity that's attached to the store owner, and it's a many to many relationship because you could have many owners. I like to keep my entities in under one name. So okay, there's a store and a store owner. Why is that? What if you have like three stores in the area? Some people do that, right? Some people will have like back when I lived in Egypt, we had someone owns a store that sells sugarcane juice. Have you ever had sugarcane juice before? It's very common in Egypt.
Yeah.
People would drink sugarcane juice all the time, right? And I don't know what he was mixing it with, but it was the most delicious thing in the world, right? The same guy owns also a library right next to the sugar cane juice store. So it's possible that you could have a many to many kind of relationship between a store and an owner, right? Let's talk about the owner. I
Right.
think the owner will be very similar. You could have a GUID, and then you could have a name,
Hmm.
that's a string. You could have a see, I'm gonna throw a wrench at it in a second. Just wait. Maybe photo, byte, right? And then we
Hmm.
could have an email. Watch me blend all these models together, and you'll be like, what did this guy just do? Watch the magic. See. So, okay, and then there is a photo, and the pin code is related to the store, not the store owner, because the store owner could have multiple stores in different places, right? So now let
Right.
me ask you this. What if the store owner also wants to be a customer? What if the
Yeah.
store owner wants to be a customer, which makes me think maybe we don't need a customer and owner. We just need
Hmm.
something called profile. of a
Mm-hmm.
user because they're
Right.
all users. I told you I'm gonna throw everything out at the window right now. Just wait for it. So a profile, right? And
Mm-hmm.
this profile can either create stores, so become a seller, right? Or they can just go to stores. So they can be both without adding any restriction. And it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
matter whether we can add an enum in there. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to us. See, now we're back to three models. Okay?
Yeah.
Good deal?
So, yeah. So I have a quick question over here.
Go ahead.
If does it mean that we should have uh, a vendor app separate and a customer app separate? Do we
You
need to create?
definitely you will have two views, that's for sure, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
like when you're on Facebook, right? When you're on Facebook, so how does Facebook work? On Facebook, you can be just a normal user, like a group member, or you can become a group admin, right? So
Mm-hmm.
it shows more options in your app. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can
Mm-hmm.
have, let me visualize. I like to visualize things. Like, your app would look like this. So let's say this is my app right here, okay? And your app has like a side menu. So this is your app. This is the screen of your app, like this, and you have this tiny side menu. You know when you have a hamburger menu? Have you ever heard of that term before, hamburger
Right.
menu?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm just asking. So the menu pops up from the side like this, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Normally, you can find options like this, like in the options area, and we're gonna design this together. Don't worry. So
Mm-hmm.
there's like my profile, like in here, my profile, right? And then you have an option in here called, my products, my products. And then maybe in here, maybe something like my wish list, right? Wish list, like this, wish list. So these products are things that you
Yeah.
reserved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now the admin comes in, my friend, as soon as the store owner, creates a store owner, becomes a store owner, says my what? My stores. So the option
Right.
just shows up. It's just another screen
Yeah,
in the
that's a great
app.
idea. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
think it's a great
Okay. Yeah,
idea?
yeah,
Do you think
yeah.
so?
You're merging. Yeah, because what I thought of, having just a single app initially,
Mm.
and uh, you know, I just this is combining all the features into single app, and
Yeah, keep
just
it
popping up the
simple.
menus. Yeah, just
Yeah,
popping up the menus. If it is a store owner,
yeah,
the person will get two two extra menu items on the mobile phone.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I did not thought of this actually. Thank you so much. We
Well,
can
that's
combine
that's
this.
why we're
It's
talking,
good.
right? So okay, so cool, so cool. Okay, so yeah, I have a lot of ideas to share with you. Don't worry, Asher, I got you. Okay, so let's go
Yeah.
back here. Okay, so there's a profile, and this profile sometimes have things, and this
Hmm.
profile could have stores, it could have notifications, it could have products, whatever you wanna do. Okay,
Hmm.
so here is the deal. Okay, the store can directly have products. Let's identify a store. A store could have a GUID, and it could have a name.
Hmm.
It needs to have an address, right? So this address string, maybe a zip code. What do you think? Zip code or sorry, pin
Pin.
code. Pin code. Yep, yep, yep. And then maybe it could have something like a photo, like photo for the front of the store, right? We could
Hmm.
have that
Right.
that a
Right.
byte. And then we could have also in the store, we could have, there was phone. So there's sometimes some store owners have this landline in the store, or sometimes they have two mobile phones, one for business and one for the store, right? Or
Yeah.
they have the
Right.
landline. So that's okay. Let's have them add the phone there instead of the owner putting his personal or her personal phone in there. It doesn't make sense. What else do we want to do in the store? That's it. And the store is connected to the product. There's a connection between the product and the store, and we're going to put a glue entity in there, something like store owner, and it has the ID
Mhm.
from the profile and the ID from the store. Why do we need that glue entity? Because it's a many to many relationship. Maybe a man and his wife are running the same store, and maybe one man or one wife, has multiple stores. So it's a many to many
Yeah.
relationship.
Right.
Does that make sense? And
Yeah.
then the same thing here can happen with the product. What do you think about making the product and the store also many-to-many relationship? Is it possible that one owner could have the same product available in multiple stores?
Uh, yeah, there is a probability of that,
Hmm.
but it's, the possibility or the probability is very less, I think, for that. It's a fashion item, and but yes, I need to think on this. Or you suggest. I mean, for this, how can we do? Go ahead then.
So all I'm
There is a
suggesting,
possibility, but yeah,
is, and it's nice to make these decisions early before your app gets popular. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because
Hmm.
once it gets popular, changing features is gonna be really hard. But that's the point why we're working with the standard so we can make things easy and simple, right?
Yeah.
So this here represents a many to many relationship. So this is many to many relationship. Many to
Hmm.
many. Oh, many to many like this. Okay. We do the same thing in here. We can just go here and say, well, I need a many to many relationship between the product and the store, and I'm going to put it here for a reason. I'll tell you why in a second. It looks pretty this way, but there's also one more very important reason. So this guy goes here, and this guy goes right into here. But a profile can also like, or like to save in the wish list to their own list. So we're gonna have multiple many-to-many relationships that basically says this is my favorite, this is my reservation, and all that kind of stuff. Well, even
Hmm.
so that's so you see how it's when you're designing systems properly, they even look architecturally beautiful. This
Yeah.
is this
Mm.
is the vision that I try. I want when the engineers look at the design, they see something nice. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We need to have that end-to-end thought. I mean, yeah. So uh, it's great to have this, high-level architecture or diagram, and then go slowly drill down into. Uh, yeah.
That's what we call user stories. Okay, we'll come to
Yeah.
that one. So, okay, so I have an ID. This is a GUID. We have a name. Just got to give it a name, right? It's a string and maybe, a product. Of course, assume that I have all the audit fields already there outside of the box. And when I say audit fields, created by, created date, all these little details. I think a product needs to also have a status. And this status will be like available, shipping, pending, whatever the record, reserved. The product is
Hmm.
reserved, right? And a product begs the question for quantity, but we will
Hmm.
come to that part.
Hmm.
We'll come to that part because it's every record has its own kind of thing. So imagine this. I'm a customer and I'm looking at the product, so I'm searching at the stores nearby and I'm going into every store, so I'm bringing all the products within that store and then I'm
Hmm.
reserving the product. Boom, I just created a record and it changed the status on that product to reserved and it will keep a record of who reserved it and then erase that status within like 24 hours or maybe a couple of days because you don't want to block the store owner from selling more products if that's the last one available in the store. Think about an Xbox or PlayStation situation, right?
Yeah.
You get
Yeah.
into a
Yeah.
situation where, okay, okay,
So
yeah,
yeah.
sir. Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah. The thing is, if the product is booked or maybe reserved, so we what if, if we don't tell the other customers that the product is not, booked, because we don't know whether the customer will actually go and, buy that product. We don't know. And there are many
if
people,
uh-huh,
yeah.
uh-huh. If you do that, you're gonna have a Black Friday situation. Have you seen what people do here on Black Fridays? They beat each other over TVs and PlayStations and Xbox. Do you know what I'm talking about? Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Hold on.
Hmm.
This is for fun. So let's just type in here Black Friday fight. So you go and you tell people, hey, I want to be able to. It's not something I'm super proud of. I'm just telling you that this happens. People go in there and they say, "Hey, this is gonna happen," right? And then you end up in a situation where, you have people going like this at each other. Look, just wait, wait, wait for it, wait for it. And then people take the cards,
Hmm.
and then no, no, these guys are nice. Hold on. Let's take these guys. Look, 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 look what they're
Oh,
doing. Oh
they're
yeah, that's
fighting
every
for this.
Black Friday. Oh yeah, and they choke each other and they just go at each other's necks and all of that because I don't know, maybe, a shirt
Ah,
or something. So let's not do that. we're trying we're trying to connect, yes sir. We're trying to connect people together, not to get them to go at each other's necks.
right.
Because I'll tell you what's gonna happen. Brother Ahmed is gonna be going for a wedding, and he reserved this nice. What do you call it? Kurta. Kurta. Is that the right
Oh,
word?
yeah,
Kurta.
yeah.
I'm
Kurta.
super ignorant about Indian culture, so help a brother out here, and I'll be
Yeah.
honest. So okay, so you're getting a kurta, and brother Ahmed already okay. He's sleeping. He knows that early 7 in the morning he's gonna go to Yasir's store. He's gonna get that kurta, and
Hmm.
little did he know, Omar came at night and he took the kurta and walked away. Right? Or
Hmm.
Omar is gonna go at the same time, and now we made two brothers are angry at each other. What are we gonna do now? Yes. Well, how what are we gonna tell our maker? When we face our maker, we're gonna say we're gonna make people we made brother fight each other. Let's not do that. Let's not cause
Okay.
a. So are you convinced or?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm convinced actually. Just have that status that it is reserved. So it will be, it's something, we are just telling the customers that if you do visit, we don't know whether you will get that product or not. It is reserved, right?
No
Yeah.
guarantee.
No
Someone,
guarantee.
it's spoken for.
Right,
That's it.
right. Mm.
It's like going and marrying. So sorry, they're
Yeah, yeah,
spoken for. It's over. So okay,
yeah.
let's go.
So actually, these scenes we hardly find in India. I mean, at least uh,
Yeah.
the area where I stay. So
Hmm.
this Black Friday, it was something only to be seen in US, I think.
Oh, you have
Or
no
is it?
idea. It's like my favorite day. I don't go buy anything. I just go there just to watch what people are gonna do. I'll be like, oh my God, why are you guys doing that? I mean, here's the thing. Let me tell you why Black Friday is super important here and the idea behind it. It's around the
Hmm.
holidays and stuff like that. So you have
Hmm.
this mama promising her son that she's gonna get him the PlayStation or Xbox.
Hmm.
Mama works after hours. She doesn't have enough money. So she
Hmm.
wants that kind of it's Black Friday because you could go buy a PlayStation or an Xbox. Normal days you're paying 450. On a Black Friday you might pay 350. So
Mm.
$100 off. So that's why it's an economical thing. But at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is I know that people are more likely not do that, but when your app, hopefully, God willing, gets popular,
Hmm.
it will spread into places where you wouldn't even imagine because there's a lot of areas around the world where people could actually benefit from using an application to know what's in the store, right? A lot of
Right.
people, and I really like that idea because a lot of people basically rely today on social media. They just go to social media and say, oh, let me just post it on Facebook, right, and
Hmm.
see what people are going to say. But if there's an app dedicated to something like that, it might work. It might work. It might actually be
Hmm.
very useful. So anyway, so going back to this looks so there are something called main entities and there are something called supporting entities, like support entities. The main entities are the ones the application cannot function without. You can't have a bazaar app, virtual app that doesn't have a store, that doesn't have a customer, that doesn't have an owner, that doesn't have a product.
Product. Mm.
Right? So there's three layers of these entities, and that's not something I had the time to see. That's why I love these conversations because now you're getting me to talk about these things. So
Mm.
you have the main entities, just like these entities that we talked about, right? These
Hmm.
are very important. And then under these entities, you have the secondary entities. And these secondary entities, Yasser, are very important in terms of there's a product and there's comments on that product. and there is
Right.
reviews on that product. These are the products that cannot exist, or sorry, the models or the entities that cannot exist without that main entity. Like a
All right.
profile can exist on its own. Like one
Mm.
profile can so much so exist on its own without any problem, right?
Right.
A
Right.
profile can exist on its own. A product can exist on its own, and store can exist on its own. But a store comment, right? So that's what I call
Right.
secondary entities.
Mm.
What do you
Mm.
think is the third type? Can you take a wild guess what the third type is?
Uh, I'm just looking at.
Don't worry about this. Just look at me. I'm
Okay.
here
Okay.
with you.
Okay. Okay.
I want your attention. I want your love and passion and attention to me.
All right.
Go ahead. Go
So,
ahead, yes.
secondary reviews. You thought about reviews, and what about
These
uh, the what do you say, the customer, giving the reviews on a particular product, or maybe to the yeah,
that's a
maybe to the
secondary
products.
entity.
This is
Right.
secondary. Now
Yeah,
if yeah, now the vendor gives gives a thumbs up, or maybe leaves some message to the review. So
uh
this it becomes a third, I think, because
no,
unless that review. No.
no. It's not based on the physical location. Let's go back to the blackboard and I'll tell you.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, my friend, you could
Mm-hmm.
have a secondary entity, and I'm gonna mark them in a different color just so you know.
Mm-hmm.
You have this secondary entity in here. You better listen up. They won't teach you that because you won't find that on YouTube except for this channel. So subscribe. So you have in here something called product comment.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a
Right.
comment, right? And this comment is going into the product. It's referring to this product. Its
Right.
existence depends strongly on that other entity. That's a
Correct.
secondary entity, right? The last entity is called a relational entity or connectivity entity. It doesn't hold any information. It just says this and this are connected to each other.
Mm.
You can also
Okay.
call it glue entity.
Hmm.
How do you know that a glue entity, it has the
It
name, it has the name of two, like if you have this entity one, sorry, I keep pulling the wrong
student
class.
course example.
Yeah, you have student and course, right? There's this little
Mm.
entity in the middle. It doesn't really hold any information. It refers to main entities, and it doesn't know anything on its own. Sometimes it does hold a little piece of information. This is the type that I call hybrid relational
Right.
entity
Right.
because they're still kind of dependent on entities, but it's referring to do different entities at the same time. The other
Mm-hmm.
thing, how you know that you have a relational entities is that they they reference always the reference is coming out of them to the main entities, but main
Right.
entities don't call
Right.
them
Mm-hmm.
because there's no hyper dependency there on these. Listen to me very well. This is really, really important. So these guys are the guys in blue. These guys are the guys in green. And these
Mm.
guys are guys, let's give them a purple color. These purple guys are what we call connectivity or relational entities. They
Mm.
don't really, they're just saying Yasser and Hassan are friends. That's it.
Mm.
They're pointers. They're like pointers. That's it. But these guys here, the comment in here, these guys are super different because these guys, they hold their own information, they have their own details, but their existence is hyper dependent on another entity, a main
Mm.
entity.
Main
What
entity.
do you
Yeah.
what do you think about that? Huh? What do you think about that? Is that a
Yeah.
good deal?
Yeah. Yeah. I understand that. Yeah. It's so this is so we have this third level, which is a relation between two main
Yeah.
entities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mainly
So
these
we
guys, this many to many,
we
they
have
just
this
hold references.
profile
Go ahead.
product.
Yeah. Uh,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we have you know profile product, store product, and profile store as the third level entities, which are actually
right.
relationships. And we can
Yes.
have extraneous attributes, not extraneous, sorry. We can have the little extra attributes if required into that third level entity if required.
Right. And
Somewhere.
these are the ones I call hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're kind of secondary, but they're also relational. They're connectivity or
Mm-hmm.
pointer entity. Now let me ask you this. Entities define themselves with relationship based on the simulation, based on the connection. Is it
Mm-hmm.
possible that you can end up in a situation where you have a secondary entity pointing
Mm-hmm.
out to a relational entity? Is this possible?
So we have yeah, we
Yeah?
can have that.
Keep going. I'm telling we're chatting.
Yeah,
Go.
yeah.
Go.
So I'm just thinking of some example when I can refer to this kind of scenario.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I would do it personally.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ah ha
So we
ha.
have you got to be kidding me, huh? On this
Brother, may
now.
Allah fill your heart with happiness and
Yeah,
bliss
I
all
mean,
your life. I'm
yeah,
just trying to cheer you up. This
yeah.
stuff that you're building is serious, but if we can't laugh
All right.
about it, then what's the point,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Correct. Right.
Ha ha ha. What are we gonna do now?
So we, you know, uh, hard to think about this. We could have this. So if we have that, this kind of relationship, wherein we have that third level, uh,
Mm-hmm.
entity, which
Uh-huh.
is a relationship actually.
Uh-huh.
So
Huh.
how do we map? I mean,
Well, a
because
relational
we
entity.
have right,
Uh-huh.
because
A, rela
we have
a
yeah,
relational
please.
entity have what we call composite primary key, right? And a composite primary key is a reference to two main entities.
Hmm. Yeah, it becomes a
It could
composite key. Mm-hmm.
it becomes a composite key,
Yeah,
composite primary key. So that
mm,
becomes the primary key
right.
for that relational entity. So now let's imagine this together, Yasser. Hassan reserved a kurta,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And in this reservation, the owner decided to leave feedback for Hassan on that particular reservation. Is that possible?
Yeah, that is possible.
Then what do
We
we
can
call
have the
this
third.
guy? Is this guy secondary? Is this
Uh,
guy
that's a good
primary?
question.
Now you're doing
It's not.
engineering.
It's
Welcome aboard. Go
yeah.
ahead.
It's
Good.
so product and these. How could comment be a primary? Because it is meant to be. It is not because it's optional. It uh, it
Mm,
its existence, it doesn't matter whether it is there or not, but product and the profile, it has to be there.
mm.
So what should we call this? I mean, I don't know,
So
but it is
so
not
let
definitely not
uh,
primary for sure.
it's definitely not primary.
Right, for
And it's
sure.
definitely not relational, right? Because it's not connecting two entities together, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it must be secondary because
Yeah,
its
it is.
existence.
It is secondary.
depends.
Hmm.
A secondary entity existence depends on the existence of another
Mm,
entity,
mhm.
regardless what this entity may be. So a relational entity can be relational within one context and main entity within another.
Mm.
Yikes. Now, what does okay, I'm your big brother, right? I'm older than you. Just listen to what I have to say, right? If you end up in a situation like this, immediately question your architecture.
Right.
Immediately,
Mm.
immediately start thinking, what am I doing wrong? Now, let me tell you
Mhm.
why this is a bad design. You want to hear why this is a bad design? Because the product that's reserved is already having a record under the main entity that's product. And it already has a status that says I'm reserved. Why would I leave the comment on the relational entity instead of leaving it on the main entity?
Right. Right. Correct. Yeah. 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 Got
Be
it.
careful because
Mhm. Mhm.
the thing about software, it has limited options. So you
Mhm.
don't know, like there is no debugger that will come and tell you, there is no debugger, yes, or that like when you run the architecture, there is no debugger yet. We don't have AI yet that tells us, hey, by the way, your architecture is horseshit. Throw all that in in the trash. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Do you want to continue this next time? We're almost at the hour. Do you have any I'll share all these stuff with you, and
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
if you create the repository for
Mhm.
VZR, just create a repository called VZR core,
Okay.
and I will upload these designs into that repository so we people can come and see, and we can put links to these videos so you can teach as many people as possible, and people will be asking you questions. Tomorrow someone
Right.
is going to sit down with you and tell you, oh, let's just create some models, and you'll be like, hmm. Yeah. Yes, sir. It's been such a pleasure talking to you today. Like I said, bless your heart, brother. I hope you happiness and success. I'm more than happy to be your consultant, your assistant in this little journey, and I hope people watching us learn from this. A little laughter, a little seriousness, and a little knowledge. And you cook all of these together in a video, and people will have a lot of fun. For the people watching us, as usual, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please feel free to drop a comment in the comment section. And as usual, what do we do? As usual, what? Yeah, sir. Don't forget what. What do we do?
As usual,
As usual, what do
we
we
say
do?
bye.
We say bye. That's it. We don't want them to like and subscribe.
Yeah. Sure. See,
Uh,
one thing
Tell
about
them
this
don't
pod.
like and don't subscribe. Just leave. Take it and go.
Yeah. One thing about this whatever we are building ahead, it is I would like to tell our subscribers, the viewers, that you continue this journey towards building this enterprise level app, which is according to the standard. It will be a standard compliant app.
Yes.
So I'm honored actually to work with Hassan Bhai. We say Bhai, and it means brother in
Bye
Hindi
means
or Urdu.
like brother, akhi, brother.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
yeah,
love it. I love
yeah,
it.
brother Hassan. So
Yeah.
I'm honored actually to meet and discuss these things with him. So keep watching and keep following us,
How do
and
you
please
tell
subscribe.
people? Yeah, how do you tell people in your language, don't forget to like and subscribe? How do you say it? How do you say it?
We say subscribe करना मत भूलना और हमें follow करते रहना. Yeah, that's it.
Subscribe Karmana Burna. Did I say it right?
Subscribe,
Uh,
subscribe करना
subscribe
मत भूलना. Don't
Karnamad
forget to
Burna.
भूलना.
Karnama
Yeah,
huh? Bulna?
करना मत भूलना.
Karnamat Bhulna.
Yeah,
What language is that?
it is Hindi.
Hindi. Okay.
Hmm.
The only thing I know is Aapka se hai. Aapka se ho kya hal hai. Am I
क्या
saying that
हाल है?
right?
Yeah, how are you?
Kya
आप
hal hai
कैसे हैं?
is like kaifa halak, right? It means how are you doing?
What's yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love you, brother. Bless your heart. I'll talk to you soon,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
And
Okay.
guys, you know what to do. Talk to you later. Take care, brother. Thank you so much.